What's up guys, my name is Robin and welcome to my, I guess, informative video on how to beat Welcome to the Game. Now, I'm just going to say this right now, everything I'm about to say in this video is not a conclusive answer to how to beat this game. I have a hell of a lot of information about it, and I know a lot of people are still struggling because they haven't figured out the information, and you know, I have it in this book that I am really desperate to burn the pages of it that have information on, but I can't until I know that I've helped people finish this game. So I'm going to be walking you guys through everything I know about this game in this video, but please bear in mind that I haven't got 100% definitive answers on everything that needs to happen to beat the game. I've beaten the game now. If you've seen my, you've probably seen, if you're watching this video, you've probably seen my my series on the game, and I've beaten the game now. So that was only possible due to all the information I managed to gather from hours and hours of failing at beating the game previously. So in order for people to kind of skip that step and get right to beating the game, I'm going to make this video. And before we go into the stuff that you should do, I'm just going to go into the stuff that you shouldn't first, because that's a lot more important and it will get you further in the game a lot quicker if you don't do these things. First of all, as I'm sure a lot of you have already picked up on, there are a hell of a lot of dead links on both of the wikis. So if you click these links, no matter when it is, no matter what time, no matter how many different times you've loaded up the game, these links will not work. And I'm quite happy to say that that is true for a lot of the ones that I would never want to go on websites for. So here, showing on the video now, is a list of all of the dead links on both that could appear on both wikis. Obviously, they're not all going to appear, but it's just kind of a case of if they do appear, don't click on them, and you shouldn't click on them because the dead links are more likely to get you hacked. So the more you get hacked, the harder the hacks will get further down the line. So the fewer times you can get hacked at the beginning, because when you get further in the game, they're going to hack you whether you like it or not, whether you clicked on anything or not, they're going to hack you. So the less times you can get hacked at the beginning, the better for you further down the line. So this list of pages that could show up on either wiki 1 or wiki 2 are links that you should not click on to find codes to get to the Red Room. So all of this stuff, so that goes from all three of the ANN sites, so ANN Poster, ANN Wallet, and Hotel ANN. Anything that could be considered pornography is blocked as well, which I'm really actually quite happy about, because I did not want to go on things like Grandma's Fantasy. That would have been all kinds of disturbing. Euro Firearms is blocked, Flames is blocked, Hidden Cams is blocked, like I said, it's probably classed as pornography. Burned at the Stake, Black Host, Mobile Market is evil, Hidden Questions, Passports Are Us, Pounds, all that kind of stuff. Everything basically that is showing up right now, do not click on it ever. It's never going to work, and it is just a way of hackers to get into your system quicker, so don't click on that. The other thing I want to talk about quickly, because it's the kidnapper. There are ways to get round being kidnapped. There are easier ways to look out for it that I know people, you know, you're told in the tutorial, but everything's happening so quickly when the game is actually going on that you don't pay attention to it. So the first thing I want to say is make sure you keep an eye on your locations tracker. Not all of the time, because a lot of the time it will also be a sound indicator, but if the kidnapper is coming to your house, every single time there will be an arrow up by the Wi-Fi symbol, which is your location tracker. So if you see that coming up on your notifications bar at the top, where the Wi-Fi symbol is, if you see a little arrow there, you need to back out your computer and get the lights off, because that is symbolizing that the kidnapper is coming to your house. So you need to back out your computer before he jumps through the window, because that's what he do. If you don't get it quick enough, he'll jump through the window and kidnap you because he saw the lights were on. But if you get the lights off quick enough, he'll just pass by the window. The curtain will have a little spaz attack, a lot of the time. It will kind of, for some reason, the curtain gets excited by kidnappers coming through, so it will have a little kind of like wind reaction thing, and you'll hear him talking, but don't worry, obviously you need to stay quiet, but you need to make sure the lights are out as well. And you'll hear him talking before he passes by the window, so you'll hear talking, pass by the window, footsteps, and there is no definitive answer for how long those footsteps go on. It's different every time. And when you hear him talk again, that's when you're safe. So you can then go turn the lights back on and get back into the deep web. So there's that. There is a little bit of a tip, trick, cheat. It's a cheat, and I did use it to beat the game. Although I didn't on the one that I was successful on, ironically enough. But if you quit the game if you're getting kidnapped, if you quit the game before it says game over on the screen, then it will save your progress from the previous day, and you'll be able to continue the game. Which is why it's important to take notes on paper, because if you've gotten a code and written it down in your notes in the game, and it's not saved for that day, you will have lost it. But if you Alt F4 the game and quit it when the kidnapper has got you, before it says kidnapped on the screen, that's very important. You have to be quick enough to do it before it says you've been kidnapped on the screen. Then you can just open up the game again and press continue, and it'll be where the last save was. So make sure you always keep notes on the codes, so that you can just retype them in on the notes in the game. And as another thing as well, I know a lot of people are just kind of skipping past the whole taking notes in the game and just writing it down on paper. If you take notes in the game, it will actually make it easier for you. So make sure you actually take the notes in the game as well. So that's that. I think that's everything about the kidnapper. Oh, and just a tip, if you're recording this for a Let's Play, because I very nearly got buggered by this, record it in screen mode, not game mode, because if you're constantly Alt F4 in the game, it could potentially crash your recording, and you could lose everything. So that's just a tip for the other YouTubers wanting to record this out there. So let's go ahead and talk about the websites that are available, yeah? So number one, Black Cat Post. This is a site that is available, and I know that you guys probably know that there's times that things are available and things like that, so certain sites are only available at certain times. Black Cat Post is available after 10 PM, and all you have to do to get them, and I'm just going to say this right now, all of these websites you can possibly get codes on. All of the websites I'm about to say, you can possibly get codes on. Not all of them at once, obviously, but if these websites are showing and you know, on the wiki, then it's possible that they're going to be a code on them, because they're the only ones that work. Okay, so Black Hat Post showing from 10 PM. All you have to do to potentially get a code on this one is press submit post, and it will show somewhere. I think that one's a show somewhere on the page. I'm pretty sure that's a show somewhere on the page one. So that will show somewhere on the page for you if you just press submit post. It might actually just be under the submit post thing. So but check the page anyway, because I'm not entirely sure about that. Sometimes it shows up in different places, but if there is a code on this site, all you have to do is press submit a post, and that will potentially give you a code. Cotton Road. This website is available after 12 AM, and all you have to do to get a code on this is click the image for the drug DMT/1, and there'll be a code on the page for that. And again, it's different, like the locations vary sometimes, but it will just be somewhere on the page, normally towards the top left, towards top left hand corner. Yeah, towards top left hand corner, it'll only be there. But that's where I found it anyway. So DMT1 DMT-1, and click on the image for it, not the text, the image, and that should give you a code. Family Drugstore, you don't actually have to click anything. This website is available as of 12 AM as well. And if you scroll down the page to where you get to the speed pills, if you get speed pills for the 4-pill option, you don't have to click anything, but it will just be next to where it says speed 4 pills. There'll just be a code there. You don't have to click anything. so that's a fairly easy one to get. If it's there, you don't have to go around clicking anything or any of the buy it now or anything. So if it's there, it will just be there. Okay. Hot burners. This website is available as of 10 p.m. And there are 2 clicking options to get codes on this one that they've both worked for me. So either in the bottom right hand corner where it says block 9, click buy now, or in the bottom left hand corner where it says Saturday night special, click buy now. Either one of them 2 will potentially give you a code, and that code will go up again to the top left, and you just have to scroll back up and it will be up there. So that's hot burners. The Illuminati, this website doesn't open till 3 AM, which is a bit of a pain. This one caused me a few problems because every time I'd get so close to being able to open the page, I'd either get hacked and lose days, or I'd just forget to open it. So this website doesn't open till 3 AM, and all you have to do to get a code on this one is click the I symbol on the page. And what this one will do, if you hit, you'll know if it's done it because you'll hear the sound. It's clickable anyway, but you won't get a code unless you hear the sound. So all you have to do on this one is check your desktop. There'll be a file on your desktop called confirmed. Open that up and the code will be in a little black text box on there. And that's the Illuminati one. Legion, this website opens at 10 p.m. or from 10 p.m. onwards. And at the bottom of the page, you don't have to click anything. At the bottom of the page, on the last row, there'll be a short text thing if it's there. There'll just be like the short 6 digits for the code, the number / then the code. Obviously, that's 6 digits. So at the bottom of the page, you don't have to click anything. It'll just be in the center on a row on its own. So you don't have to click anything. It'll just be there. Okay. The Lugaroo opens at 11 p.m, so you'll be able to view that after 11 p.m. And again, there are 2 ways to get codes on this site. Either under the picture, if you click the word mother, sometimes that will activate a code. Or if you scroll down to the bottom and just press submit a sacrifice, that will sometimes also produce a code, and all that one does is it just kind of shows underneath the submit a sacrifice button, so no matter which one you click, it will always show under submit a sacrifice. So that's the Lugaroo one. The butcher's website is always open. Disturbing as hell website. But again, there are 2 ways to get codes on this website. If you scroll down to the bottom to the links, where you've got, I think there's like 6 different links at the bottom there. If you click gutting, you can get a code, or if you click hanging, you can get a code, and the code goes above the author of the page's name, under Bob Arson's name, so it will go underneath that. So that's the butcher. The doll maker, another creepy as hell fucking website. Okay, the doll maker is open as of 12 AM. And if you go down to the contact me button at the bottom of the page, and click that, it's like I say, it's clickable anyway, but if you hear a sound, then it's obviously there's a code there. And then you scroll back up to the second paragraph. At the end of the second paragraph is the code. So contact me button, scroll back up, end of second paragraph. You have to kind of, is right at the end of that second paragraph there, so that's where the code is for that, if there's one on there. Weed post is another really simple one. It opens at 10 p.m. And if there's going to be a code there, it will just be there, and it will be on the top header of the web page. So you don't have to click anything. It'll just be up there on the top header. So that's a nice easy one to check for. You never ever have to click anything on that. I've never clicked anything and got a code, but if there is a code, it's just going to be there. Warehouse 33. This website is always open. It's another one that's always open. And on the left hand side, you get the links, the 4 warehouse links. One of them, it differs from which one it is, but it's always one. If there's going to be a code on there, it is one of them 4 links. So click on, try them out, click on one of them. If you get one that is successfully a code, it will just show underneath the 4 links. So that's where the code will show up there. The bunker has two ways. Again, this is another two-way one to get a code. This website opens at 10 PM, so after 10 PM you can get on this site, and you either press the 50 cal buy now button, and the 50 cal gun is at the bottom, it's the last one on the page, so click the buy now button for that, or click page 8 at the bottom, and that will sometimes give you a code as well. And this is another desktop file one. If you get a code from this site, if you hear the sound saying that you indicating that you've got a code, you check your desktop again, you'll get a desktop file that says Doomsday. Double click that, open that, and you'll get another black text box with a code file in there. Father Donald, this website opens at 1 AM. And it's another one where you don't have to click. If it's going to be there, then it will just be there. So at the bottom of the page, there'll just be a code there, and it won't be underneath any other text. It will just be on its own right at the bottom of the page. So that's another one. If it's going to be there, then it will be there. There's no need to click on anything. So that's that one. The Shadow Web Portal. This website opens at 12 AM, and if there's going to be a code here, then you need to click in the center of the portal, the black box down the stairs kind of thing, in the center of the page. So yeah, the Shadow Web Portal, if there's one there, then all you have to do is click on the black box in the middle of like the portal entrance. And like I say, that website opens at 12 AM. Takedown Man. This one's a little bit of a pain in the ass. And just so you guys know, actually, Takedown Man is an actual thing. He's an actual person. He's got an actual YouTube channel, and this is an actual thing he does. And the music you hear on his site is actually his intro music for his real life YouTube channel. So that's pretty cool. And what you have to do on this one, it opens at 12 AM, and what you have to do on this one is slowly scroll down every single website that he's taken down and find one that is potentially clickable. There is only one on there that is clickable, so you have to scroll down all 162 pages, all 162 links. I think it's 162. Let me just check, see if I'm right, because I'm curious. I'll bring this back up again in a minute. Is it 162? 160? Yeah, it's 162, I was right. So, you have to scroll down all 162 links, and one of them, if there is a code on that site, one of them will be clickable. Every single time I found it on that site, I don't know if this is true for all of them, but every single time I found it on this site, it's been on the right hand side column, the one that's shorter. But try them all. I'm not saying that's where it's going to be every single time. Try them all, but maybe try the right hand side first, because that might be a quicker way of doing it. And if there is a code on this site from clicking a link, it will just go underneath his logo on the website. So that's Takedown Man. 0 Day. This website is always open, so you can get to it whenever you want. And there are two ways to get a link, a code on this website. Either by clicking the leak link on the right hand side of the page. So if you go to the right, you've got the links on there. There's a link on there called leaks. If you click on that, you could potentially get a code. Or if you scroll down to the bottom and click page 5, that could potentially get you a code as well. And this is another desktop file. I forget what the desktop file is called. But anyway, check your desktop file. There'll be another file on there. If you've got the code for it, double click it. The black text box. So that'll always be on. That'll be that one. The next one is Forgive Me, and this is another one that is always open. You can go to it whenever you want. And the way to get a code on this one is by looking through the confessions. And I've looked through them meticulously. They're disturbing. So it takes you between 5 and 7 clicks if there's going to be a code there, so don't waste too much time scrolling through them. But if you see one on there, it will be in its own box. It won't be mixed in with anything else. It'll be in its own box, and it will just say "you will regret it" and then a code. So it won't be mixed in with any of the other normal confessions on there. So that's that one. The next one is Hail Satan. This website goes up as of 1 AM. and if you click the word Satan above the row of links at the bottom of the page, then that will sometimes give you a code as well. Tango Down, this website opens at 11 PM, and if you click the link on the left hand side to the page, to the link that says payments, that potentially gives you a code, and that code, it goes under the information required. It will just add another line underneath all the information that's already there on the page, and it will go underneath that in the information required section of the web page. And that's it. That's all of the websites. Now, that is not a definitive answer to everything. I'm fully aware of the fact that there are probably still other ways to get codes on every single one of these sites. So, everything in this book has helped me to win this game, and you know, for the most part, I've got pretty much all the information. But I'm pretty sure, in fact I'm 100% positive, that there are still some other variations out there. So when you're playing through this game, if anything I've said to you doesn't work, or it is different, please don't come telling me that I was wrong or whatever, because everything I've got in this book is stuff that I've put in there because it has worked for me personally, and it's worked over and over again. So it's stuff that I'm pretty sure is legit when it comes to playing this game. There is still one more website that we need to talk about before we go and end this video, and actually there's two. Alright, we'll talk about Chosen Awake real quick. So Chosen Awake is the web page. It's an always open web page. It's always on DeepWiki 1. It is the way of getting the HTML code to DeepWiki 2, which presents you with another set of websites. So this web page is a tough one because it's a puzzle. It's a clicking puzzle, and basically it's different every time. So there is no definitive way. There isn't even a pattern. There is no pattern ever on how this particular page works. And basically what you have to do is you have to click on certain things in the right orders, and it all starts with them circles up at the top of the page. I think 3 of them are clickable. The correct one, you'll hear a sound and it will fill in the circle so that it's completely white, and then you have to go down, and the next one is kind of like the diamond circles the diamond circles within a bigger circle. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 circles there. So you have to kind of like click on the correct one of them, 8, and then you have to go and click on the little triangle in the middle of the waveforms. So basically, you know, that's not the end of it. Then then it gets to another diamond with other circles, and then you have to fill in the hexagons, and then you have to fill in the 4 circles that are on the right hand side of the page on another row, and then you have to click on the right little man down there, and then the final one is the one where it's kind of like a big star formation when you get to the grey parts on the right hand side, and you have to click the right circle in there as well. But basically there is something to click for you on every single row of that site, but you have to click on the correct one previously to do that. And if you get to when you get to the bottom, whatever row you want, if you click on the wrong thing, when I say you click on the wrong thing, if you find the right thing that you should be clicking, but obviously there's more, apart from when you get to the triangle in the middle of the waveforms, there's more than one option. If you click the wrong option, it will send you right back up to the top, so you have to kind of rinse and repeat until you find the right one. There is no correct way of figuring out which the right one is. You just kind of have to go through it methodically and just go around the circles and make sure you're clicking the right ones each time. But if you don't, it will send you right back up to the top. So you know, you just gotta be paying attention to what is working for you and what isn't. And the other website I wanted to talk about was the Gatekeeper. Now, The Gatekeeper only appears on DeepWiki 2, and it is a site that is always open, and you are always guaranteed to get a code from it. And here's why. It's because you have to have paid attention to every other site that you've been on that's worked, and it's like the most random details. You have to answer a questionnaire in order to get the code. So you are always guaranteed to get a code, provided you can answer these questions right. So there are various different questions. I think you normally get 4 or 5 a time, and if you answer them correctly, you'll get a code at the end. So on the video now is kind of like a rundown of all of the questions you could get asked and the answers to them. So there's quite a few different options that could come up, and again, definitively, this is not all of the questions that could show up. These are all of the ones that I've come across and that I've meticulously trolled through the other websites to get the answers for. So these are correct, but they might not be every single question. But I've got a good lot of them. There is a good chance that these are the questions that will show up for you. So, you know, when it comes to that game, that's pretty much it. It's a tough one because on the face of it, it's really simple, but it is, you know, it's meticulous kind of clicking on everything. And like I say, everything I've said in this video for someone else's walkthrough of this game might be complete and utter bogus. The other thing I just want to say quickly as a tip, when you get to a website that has sound on it, you can actually mute it, because like I said previously about the kidnapper, yes, the locations tracker indicates that he is coming after you and he's going to come to your house, but you don't always get that warning with a sound cue. So mute the websites if there's sound on them, because it will kind of distract you from listening to what's going on in the background. So just mute the sites if they have sound on them, because they'll distract you from what's going on in the background. So that's just a tip. And you do have to completely, and when you go on another site, you do have to unmute and remute. It doesn't just kind of like continually mute. You know, when you click on another site with sound, it's a bit strange. You have to kind of unmute it and then remute it again, even though it's set on mute from the last time you muted it. You do have to do that. So that's everything for this game. The other thing was that you do have only 30 days to get there. For a lot of people, you know, they don't check the desktop part of it, and I don't blame them, because until they get a code that, you know, goes on the desktop, you're not actually told anything about checking your desktop. When I first found a desktop clue, I was sat there for about 5 minutes clicking, trying to figure out where this fucking code was on this website, and it wasn't until there were so many files on my desktop that they started to overflow under the web page borders that I've realised that something was on my desktop. So I just had like multiple fucking things. Oh, I remember something. The 0 day. Is it the 0 day? Yeah, the 0 day desktop file is called Seek. Just thought I'd put that out there. If you get a desktop file on your desktop called Seek, then that is the one from 0 day. But yeah, there will be another desktop. There will be another file on the desktop from Adam, and it was just saying that the Red Room is only open for 30 days. So when you get to the hacking, I do want to talk about the hacking quickly. Actually, when you get to the hacking, you lose days. So if you get hacked too many times, then it will just kind of put your days up a lot quicker than it should. You can lose up to 5 days, I think. And it only goes up to, you can only have up to 30, so be careful with the hacking. And I want to talk quickly about the DOS hacking situation, because I know a lot of people are having trouble with trying to figure this thing out, and you know, I don't blame them. It was quite confusing to me when I first kind of, and again, despite the fact that it was completely explained by Adam in the tutorial, when everything's happening, you kind of like, you forget things. So with the DOS hacking tool, make sure you go through every single one of the packets. Make sure you go through every single one. Plan the route backwards so that you kind of don't go wrong on the first one and then you're fucked, because a lot of the times that can happen. If you make the first arrow wrong, a lot of the times it'll just go straight to the exit, and if you haven't gone through the other packets, then you're fucked. So go backwards, go from the exit up and plan the route through there. Make sure you use your middle mouse button to speed it up when you are correct, because even if it is you have found the correct path, if it doesn't get out in time, you're still going to be hacked. So make sure when you have found the correct path, you use that middle mouse button and get it out as quickly as possible. And the other thing is just to look really carefully at all the arrows, because it's when all of the arrows of different kind of like all the arrows that aren't necessarily ones that you can use show up on the page, that when it starts to get difficult. So make sure you really look at the arrows, because there is a colour difference. The ones that you're not supposed to be using are a slightly lighter green, so they're kind of like dead arrows and they will send you back to the top. So make sure you only focus on the arrows that are that really vibrant green colour, and if there is a slightly off green colour to them, then don't use them, because they will send you right back up to the top. And then obviously what's the other one? The start again arrows. So you get the little grey start again arrows that will send you back to the top anyway. But it's when you get all of the arrows on there that it gets really confusing. But the bigger puzzles, they're actually a lot more simpler than they look. So just go slow with it. I know you're timed, but go slow with it and go from the bottom up, and make sure you're really paying attention to the colour of the arrows. Otherwise you'll get sent back up to the top and you'll lose that one time. So yeah, that's basically everything I have to say about this game. It's taken up probably 2 days worth of hours for me to finish this game, and I'm hoping I'm not the only one that's gone through everything and kind of meticulously found every single thing there is to find about this game. And even then, I say that and I don't think I have found everything there is to find about this game. I've completed it, yes, but I'm pretty sure that there are more options on the websites out there. There's probably more gatekeeper answers. There's probably a million other different things that I haven't found out yet. But for now, I have the formula that works for me, and I'm hoping it will be of some kind of help to you guys as well, because there are some people that are really stressing about this game, and I don't blame them. And it's strange, because it's a really, like, for me, it's one of the most intense game experiences I've ever had, because it's such a real life thing. So, you know, this kind of stuff happens, and the mic mechanic and kind of the whole turn off the lights thing in the back is a very cool thing. So yeah, I mean, it's one of the best games considering the price of it. I mean, I paid less than £2 for it. You know what I mean? It's a fantastic game for what it is. You know, the Reflect Studios really did a good job with it, and you know, I haven't, like I was saying this in a previous video, but I didn't even do this much research into things that I was studying at university. You know, I've spent hours just trying to fit the pieces together to make sure that the puzzles are solvable and that I can get on each page at a specific time correctly to speed the process up. And, you know, it's not difficult to figure stuff out, but when you're going through everything, you know, and you're spastically trying to find codes, you forget which sites you've been to, and you can't remember where you've got codes. So just as a recommendation, when you go into this game and you're writing down your codes in your notebook and on your and on the game, write down what site you got the code from, because then you'll know you don't have to come back to it, because there's only ever going to be one code per site. So write down where you got the code from. This was my winning one right here. So that's where I got all my codes from, and I was actually really lucky with my last walkthrough, because I got 8 codes from Wiki 1, and I was, you know, I got screwed over by the game before that, so I got 8 codes from Wiki 1, and I went over and got the last 2 from Wiki 2, which was from the Gatekeeper and from the Illuminati page. So make sure you write down where you get your web pages from, where you get the codes from, and what web pages they're from, because it's just easier. Because you forget, even though you think you won't, you'll forget which pages you got stuff from. So yeah, I've rambled on enough. I hope this was of some help to someone. I know this game has been out for a couple of months now, but I know people are still struggling with it. So I hope this was of some help to someone. If there's anything I've missed, make sure you let me know in the comments below. I think I've pretty much covered everything though. At this point, I think I've pretty much covered everything about this game, and I never want to talk about it again. I never want to play it again. I never want to see it again. I don't want to do anything about it again, because I feel like a fucking criminal having this little book. I feel like a criminal. So I'm going to leave this video right here. Like I say, I hope this was of help to somebody. If I have missed anything, make sure you let me know in the comments below so you can kind of add to my guide to playing this game. If you haven't seen my walkthrough of the game, I'll put a link to that in the description. It was probably one of the best walkthroughs I've ever done, because when you're a nervous rambler and you have to be quiet because your mic is active, you end up pulling some pretty spectacular faces. So make sure you check out the series walkthrough for the full game in the description below as well. And yeah, that's going to be it from me for this video. Make sure you keep an eye out for the rest of the videos that are coming out this week, guys. And until the next time you hear from me, as always, stay classy, gamers.